So congratulations, you've made it through. This is video number 9, and we're going to talk about productive habits and how do you maintain being productive after you've learned the fundamentals, you have a good base now on how to become productive, and you have an idea of what tools that you need. How can you be consistent all the way through? Well, I want to really give you some pointers in this particular video. So once you've started to really organize and get your tasks and deadlines on track, the big question is, how do you ensure that you follow through with them? So let's talk about it. First of all, I want you to cut off anything that is unimportant. And unimportant, you're going to have to categorize that yourself. But, the phone calls that you get from maybe, random people or even certain things that could be prioritized, I want you to really think about, for at least the first week, try to cut off anything unimportant that you do not deem as something that's going to impact the 20-80 rule. Whereas you're spending 80% of your time on that, but really not getting any results whatsoever. And then I want you to evaluate your tasks by ranking them and pick out only the important tasks and important things for you. And I want you to refer back to the time management matrix that we covered about earlier to properly classify your activities. And then you can figure out which quadrant that might be in. And if you see that, it's going to make life a lot easier, because then you're going to see, aha, this is taking a lot more time, but it's not producing any results or very little at the most. And number 2, it's okay to learn to say no to others. So go ahead, try to practice that this week. And even if it's baby steps, even if you have to say no right now, and maybe now, a little bit now, but then the goal is to say no in the long term. And that's going to take time and become that habit forming in 21 days or more. So like I said, others may ask you to do something that you feel is not value adding to you. So you really need to figure that out for yourself. And if you feel that you can make use of your time, better doing other things, then just simply say no to those tasks. And don't feel bad. I know you might feel bad in the beginning, but this is something in a process that you're going to have to develop yourself. So even if it's as simple as, someone calling you on the phone just to have a quick chat, or somebody Skyping you, or somebody Facebook messaging you for fun, or receiving an email with trivial stuff in it that requires you to respond, learn to say no. And if you have to cut things out, so for example, you use Facebook, but not for business or career, but you mainly use it for personal, it's okay to lessen it down. One thing that has helped us is we actually don't use Facebook as much unless for business purposes. And we've told everybody that so they don't get their feelings hurt. So if you're concerned about people and their feelings, then that might be something to do to try to minimize, the risk. In other words, this could be any type of distraction as well. So anything that really could take away your focus. And obviously you're not going to know that unless you actually prioritize your to-do list and place them in the 4 different quadrants, and then you will know. So third, you want to set time to have a break. And I know we don't think about breaks often, but the reality of it all is that breaks have a good impact and a positive impact on the way you work and how productive you are. Actually taking more breaks in between, like every 20 minutes you have a break, can actually help you out. And I'll talk more about that with the Pomodoro timers and how efficient that is and impactful that is to your life. So you want to do this strategically to optimize your energy use. And like I said, you want to figure out your peak energy hour and then optimize that energy use. And not taking breaks actually makes you less productive. So there's a great application, you can find lots of them out there. If you go to Google and you do a search for the Pomodoro timer, that's the Pomodoro timer, you go to Google, you look out there, There's a lot of free tools out there. What this tool does is very, very simple, very basics, not complex at all. All it does is it times you for 20 to 25 minutes. And then it alerts you after that time ends and says, hey, it's time to take a break. Now, by doing this, this will actually help you speed the process up. Let me give you an example. For example, in this case, I've used Pomodoro timers to, for example, speed processes up in my business. And by doing so, what used to take me an hour to do now takes me about 15 minutes. And the reason why is because the Pomodoro timer basically retrains your brain to think, okay, I have a limited amount of time. 1 hour now feels like 15 minutes, or 15 minutes now feels like 1 minute. So a lot of times when you go through this process after a week of doing it, you'll see the results and you'll begin to see, wow, what used to take me 1 hour now takes me 10 minutes to do, because my brain thinks this way, utilizing the Pomodoro timer. And this is very, very impactful. So basically, like I said, it sets up a timer for you to schedule your break time and will notify you when your break is due. And what we do is 25-minute intervals. It can be 20, 25 intervals within 3 to 5 minute breaks. So what this does is it helps improve your mental agility. And it doesn't matter if you take 3 to 5 minutes, take a break, go to the bathroom, or 3 to 5 minutes to get up, get out of the room, get stretched, look outside, take a breather. And it's amazing how much this will impact you and apply that 20-80 rule to your life. Number 4, I want you to remind yourself of what motivates you. Every case is different, but what motivates you the most? Is it your career? Is it your business? Is it your family? Is it what motivates you the most? And think of what drives you to keep on going and try to remember that. So if it's your family, do your business for your family, do your career for your family, or do it for whoever that might be. But a quick, effective tip is to put sticky notes up on your wall, your computer monitor, or anywhere you would always see it. As long as you prioritize them and you put them into the 4 time management matrix, it's going to make your life a lot more powerful and impactful as far as productivity goes. And what I recommend that you also do is you can write it on the top of your daily to-do list or calendar as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video course, and please put this into action, because that is what is only going to help you become more productive.